The Crimson Moon Tavern reeked of stale blood and cheaper whiskey. Marcus had been nursing his drink for 3 hours, trying to forget the promotion he didn't get, the girl who left him, the life that was slipping away like sand through his fingers. He wasn't looking for trouble. Trouble found him anyway. A group of mercenaries, the kind with enhanced muscles and dead eyes, surrounded his table with a swagger of men who'd never faced real consequences. One of them, scarred and massive, grabbed Marcus's jacket. "That's our table, human," the mercenary snarled. Marcus was tired. Tired of being pushed around. Tired of being weak. Something snapped inside him. He stood up, twisted his body, and threw a perfect punch straight into the mercenary's face. The man went down hard, blood spraying across the wooden floor. His companions lunged forward, but Marcus had already found his rhythm. Years of gym sessions finally paying off. He weaved, ducked, and landed punch after punch with surprising precision. 3 mercenaries fell before the others backed away, realizing they'd underestimated the quiet man in the corner. Victory tasted like adrenaline and regret. That's when she appeared. She moved through the tavern like a shadow given form. Pale skin, crimson lips, eyes that held centuries of hunger. Her dress was black silk, and around her neck hung a pendant of pure silver. The vampire princess of the Northern Territories. Every person in the bar froze. She looked at the fallen mercenaries, then at Marcus. "You," she said, her voice like velvet over steel. "You caused this disruption." Before Marcus could respond, she moved with inhuman speed. Her hand wrapped around his throat, not to strangle, but to lift him effortlessly. She dragged him out of the tavern, through the frozen night, toward her cabin in the woods. Her name was Isabel, and she was furious. Inside the cabin, she threw him against a stone wall. Marcus gasped for breath, expecting death. Instead, she opened her mouth to hiss, and he saw it. Her left fang cracked clean down the middle. "You broke my fang," she said, rage pouring from every syllable. "Do you know what this means? These fangs are 300 years old. I was wearing them when I killed the last slayer. When I conquered 3 kingdoms. And a human, a weak human, shattered one with a single, stupid punch." Marcus stared at her, confused. I didn't even hit you. Your fighting style," she snarled, pacing like a caged predator. "It created an air current, a pressure wave from your punch. It hit my face at exactly the right angle while I was moving through the tavern. 1 in a million chance. And you managed it." She examined her fang in a mirror, turning her head to catch the light. The crack ran diagonally across the ivory surface. For a creature who'd lived 3 centuries without a scratch, it was catastrophic. But as Marcus watched her, he saw something beneath the rage. Something vulnerable. A princess who'd never experienced imperfection, now facing it with a mixture of horror and, was that fascination? "I'm sorry," Marcus said quietly. "I didn't mean to." "Silence," she commanded, but her voice had lost its edge. She sat down heavily on a velvet chair. "Do you understand what you've done? I cannot simply replace these. They are part of me. They took decades to grow." Marcus approached slowly, carefully. Maybe that's not entirely bad." She looked at him like he'd lost his mind. "You're 300 years old," he continued. "Perfect fangs, perfect life, perfect power. And in one moment, a random human gave you something you've never had. A scar. A story. Something real." Isabel stared at him for a long moment. Then, impossibly, a laugh escaped her lips, genuine and surprised. "You're either the bravest human I've ever met or the most foolish." "Probably both," Marcus admitted. She touched her broken fang again, and this time, there was something like wonder in her expression. For 3 centuries, she'd been untouchable, unchanging, eternal. Now, imperfection marked her, and somehow, in that moment, she felt more alive than she had in decades. "Stay," she said finally. "We have much to discuss about this unexpected development." As the night deepened, the vampire princess and the human who'd broken her fang began an unlikely conversation. She'd lived forever, but she'd never truly lived until someone dared to make her bleed.